which actually I'll put in this other pocket. Because, as I mentioned in the description, I found my second battery just as I was putting my camera away in the container when I was done on the beach recently. And then I just started like cruising around, and I found this coffee shop that I'll like back the bike up in so you can see it. It's called Koh Samui, and I had a latte. And anyway, so I thought, oh cool, I got a second battery, so I'll just throw the battery in, right? Because like they gave me a second battery. And if you guys don't know, the reason that I have this GoPro 9 is, well, first of all, I tried to buy it, but the GoPro website wouldn't work, and I couldn't get it over here to Thailand. And a buddy of mine works at GoPro, and so I mentioned it to him, and he says, yeah, that's unacceptable. So he actually sent an email to the CEO. CEO read it, and he says, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. That shouldn't be the e-commerce experience. That's horrible. Give me your buddy's address, and I'll send him a GoPro 9 VIP package. So I was honored by that. And unfortunately, the guy's not on LinkedIn. Otherwise, I would have connected with him, much like I have for other leaders in large companies, and thanked him personally. But nonetheless, it's a really great story. Potentially, I'll do a whole video on it. Because, you know, again, I think it's important to highlight great customer service, and clearly GoPro is that. Additionally, I'm a stockholder now, a significant one, because I don't invest like a gambler. I invest like an owner, and so therefore I believe owning a portion of GoPro is a wise move, especially before GoPro 9 sales ideally go through the ceiling come Black Friday / all the way through Christmas. So anyway, I'm here. I got the motorbike. I may actually stop along the way to get gas at one of those like dispenser things, because I've wanted to use one in the past. I've used one once in Prachuap Khiri, but I haven't used one around here. It's like in the middle of nowhere, and there's like this giant, like what kind of is like the Coke machine, but there's a hose, and like you get gasoline out of it, as opposed to buying the whiskey bottles full of gasoline on the side of the road, which is cool too, and we've done that before as I've been live streaming. I believe I've attached the GoPro 9 to my motorbike with some degree of integrity, and so therefore hopefully it won't fall off. But anyway, let me start it up. I'll swing by so you can like see the coffee place that I'm at. And again, it's Mike's from livemyassoff.com, and I hope you're living the dream. I also want to mention to everybody, I cannot see your comments right now because the phone that I would normally view that on, it's in my pocket and I'm tethered to it, and I'm shooting with the GoPro 9. So appreciate your patience and that sort of thing. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves, as they say. I'm honored that you guys come by, and once again, you absolutely do keep me sane even when I'm doing this and I'm unable to respond to you. It really, I'm honored by it. And Joe, I hope you're here. You don't have to be. But if you are, Joe P., I just wanted to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, man. You always buy me a smoothie, and it's totally unnecessary, and I really, really appreciate it. Some guy sent me an email the other day, and he goes, hey, Mike, so just curious, like, why did you stop doing it? And I gave him, the reasons and stuff. But I mentioned to him, I said, I'm just amazed that, like, people actually give me money for this. I mean, it's just, because I know what it takes to be able to spend $5. In the United States, effectively, you have to earn 10. And so that's not, that takes attention units and skills and that sort of thing. So again, I just really appreciate it. That said, let's take a look at the coffee shop, make a U-turn, and cruise back down some of the side roads here in Thailand. Something that I like to do when I get a motorbike is just cruise around. So additionally, my experience with this in the past is that I can actually talk with you guys in a fairly non-screaming voice. And and I've only got 1 bar of gasoline, so that's cool. I actually need gasoline, so I'll back up here so you guys can see this coffee shop that I stayed at. Actually I said Ideal, so I think Koh Samui restaurant. Brand new building. Looks like they have rooms for rent daily, monthly, and yearly. I mean, literally like brand new, like less than a year old. And it's a very beautiful place. And sitting there outside as I did, literally every single person that drove by like made a point to spend some time smiling at me. and who doesn't like that, right? So anyway, for those of you unfamiliar with my GoPro 9 ride-alongs that I've been honored to be able to give you guys, it's been my experience that the wind noise filter that comes with the GoPro 9 is amazing AI technology. Right now I'm going basically 30 kilometers an hour, and I will say that this is one of those times where I actually, and considering again I paid no money out of pocket for this GoPro 9, so my action camera fund is at infinity right now. There's a chance that I may actually spend my money, my real money, my actual money, on a 360, because I'll tell you right now, dude, if I had a lens that like showed 180 degrees, that would be really neat, because of course as a human that's what I see, right? Well, 170 for the sake of argument, but obviously my peripheral vision allows for a pretty good look at what's going on around me, and you know, Thailand's pretty cool. I mean, and that's the purposeful reason actually I'm really going faster right now than I normally go. I mean, this is 30 kilometers an hour, but normally I'll drive slower when I'm exploring this. Whoop! So hopefully that won't happen too much. I know that I need to figure out I need like a lock washer or something on the threads of this Andur clamp that I'm using. But anyway, so that's Samui Resort right there on the left, and if you're familiar with Koh Samui, or you're looking on Google Maps or whatever, coming up here on the left will be the Intercontinental. And again, for those of you just joining, I cannot see your comments because I'm tethered to my phone, which is in my pocket. This guy was here before, Saudi Cup. And with any luck, the threads will be able to hold this thing with some tension. So anyway, apologize for the falling camera. Off to the left here and the ocean, to the point where the majority of the salute you. Although I feel a little gypped now that I know that like a lot of those guys will get issued, or they choose to buy shoes that have the little metal plates on the inner heel, and they click their heels together when they say hello. Knowing that when I see a guy salute me and he doesn't click his heels together, I'm like, hey! Ooh, that was almost a large pothole that I went into. I don't like being distracted by a potentially imperfect video stream. And again, the other thing that I don't know, I mean, obviously I can't see your comments as I mentioned, but the other thing I don't know is if I'm even successful at streaming right now, because I am tethered to my phone, which of course has LTE. Now, if I recall, coming up here on the left, there's going to be a guy who literally, you want to talk about like the luckiest guy in the entire village. He's got a cell tower in his front lawn, and if you know anything about how that works, if you have the land in your name that you can lease to a telco to put a cell tower in, you literally have paid for your land like 20 times over. You're getting a very good size residual income, even in the middle of nowhere out here, because actually their farm is at the mountaintop of the village, and I said, honey, whatever you need to do, make sure that land is legally on paper in your dad's name, family's name, whatever, because now that 5G is out, trust me, they're going to need a hell of a lot more locations for their distribution system. So anyone on a mountaintop, you are living the dream, because it can be, not only can it be a repeater station, but obviously it can be transmission. So anyway, I believe that's coming up here on the left. And I just watched one of Doorman's videos. You think he likes to talk like an engineer. Oh, well, one could argue, no, Mike, you don't talk like an engineer, you just talk like a freaking geek who's got no girlfriend. And I don't have a girlfriend, I have a fiance, I have a Gracie, which is one of the items in my life that I blame for why I'm so friggin' happy. Oh yeah, it's off to the left there. So you guys missed it, unfortunately. And what's funny is, so he's got a cell tower like in his front yard, and on the back of the property, there is a brand new, I mean, I'm talking like hours old house. The gate that like automatically goes left and right in front of his front lawn now probably cost more than his previous house did. So good for him, good on him, and I pray to God that if he has they have a family or whatever, that they're allocating that newfound wealth to education and higher education for their children. But again, that's just my judgment and what I would do with it. So I'm not saying that that's the only way to do it, and I'm not saying that my way is the best way, but as I review people, their families, oh, you know what, so, okay, I've got 2 bars, but that looked like a pretty significant amount of fuel stations back there that probably work. we're gonna make a quick U-turn, and we're gonna go use a machine version of, of dispensing. And now I believe I'm 90 up the middle. I believe I can put in 20 baht. So, so 20 baht should give me about a liter. Oop. Or less than a liter. But. Yeah. Yes.
ขอโทษค่ะน้ำมันใกล้หมดแล้วไม่ควรเติมเกิน5 ลิตรค่ะ
Start. Oh, look, up on my top.
ขอขอบคุณที่ใช้บริการค่ะ
Oh, okay. I need more. Can't do it. Oh, wait. No, I guess that's all I can do. I don't have adhesive. Oh, you got change? Oh. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, you need, okay, flat. This one, yeah, go, okay.
ขอโทษค่ะน้ำมันใกล้หมดแล้วไม่ควรเติมเกิน5 ลิตรค่ะ
Okay, come. Okay, good.
Thank คุณที่ใช้บริการค่ะ
Okay. Stop for my car. Have Coke Light. Oh, guys, you know what I did? I did the same thing that I did before, which is I walked away from the device. So I don't know if I'm still live streaming or not, but I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can throw this away. Here's the trash. I don't see trash anywhere. Here? Let me move away from this so I can use my phone safely and make sure I'm still live streaming. What do I got now? Ooh, look at that, 4 bars. 4 to 6. Stop right here. It's actually not really that sunny out, but I'm just sort of in the habit of stopping underneath bushes because of the possible intense sun. Ooh, wait a second, 5 bars. How you doing? Stream health. So the stream health looks low. Looks like I'm doing like 1100 kilobits a second, so, or 1000 kilobits a second, and I'm on H+, so I bet you this isn't working like at all. But what are you gonna do? It's just me messing around. So let's see if this is actually even working. Yeah, it looks like I'm spinning at this point. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yo, it's working. Great, awesome. And, yeah, I know, no whiskey bottles. Okay, I just looked at the comments there briefly, so that's cool. Shoot, when the apps, 1100 kilobits is working. Amazing. All right, so we're. So here's what's interesting. Like, I kind of wanted to have the only child experience basically back there. Like, in other words, I didn't expect there to be a gentleman that comes out and like literally he just like looks at me and he's gonna do everything, right? Like, he's just like, well, no, just give me the money and I'll put it. I mean, he didn't say this, of course, but he's motioning for me to give him the cash so he can put it in the dispenser so that he can pump my gas and not have me do it. I mean, that's that's incredibly awesome. So I put 20 baht in, and I only had the 20 baht bill, and then I had 100 baht notes. And he's like, oh, no. So he's got a fanny pack that he's wearing, and I'm sure the guys from the UK were just thrilled that I said the word fanny pack. Let me have this guy go ahead. I'm gonna stop briefly here because I'm not totally sure. Oh no, I remember. Okay, off to the left, just goes off to the left for like about 200 meters, and then it stops. And the ocean is off to the, well, okay, so the Gulf of Thailand, Sea of Thailand is off to the left. But anyway, I think, I have a feeling he was probably not really sort of understanding why I was getting any sort of joy out of putting money into a dispenser. He's probably like, dude, you guys have had Coke machines like this in the United States since '71. Like, what the hell? And, but anyway. I like to tap joy wherever I pop. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get on Mike's way. Coming up off the left here is the Raja Ferry Pier, and the Raja Ferry Pier, Raja Ferry is, okay, let's say for the sake of argument, there's SEATRAN and Raja. If SEATRAN were like the best ferries, then Raja would be like a notch down. Their boats are older, their ferry ports are not as well maintained. They're equally as reliable in the sense that they get you from the mainland to the islands with basically the same level of safety, quite frankly. But their ferries are pretty weathered. They're a little slower. I mean, for the most part, the SEATRAN ones, you know, maybe like 5 to 10 knots faster. Now, basically, all I'm going to do is tell this person that I need to go buy a ticket, and of course, I'm not going to, but I want to show you guys this because I think it's kind of cool. This person's going to probably want to direct me somewhere, so I will go do that. Or what I can do, which is pretty common, not just in Thailand, but basically, I can just pretend that I know what I'm doing, and pretty much no one will mess with me. Now, this is the second or maybe third or something time that I've been in here just because I wanted to check it out. And so anyway, so I wanted to show you this because this is where you buy your ferry tickets. And then they have basically what's referred to as the Koh Samui ferry, and they have the Koh ferry, and they have the Dom Sak ferry. And so those are sort of the destinations. And so a lot of times, the other thing that you'll notice about the ferry ports here specifically, as well as in Thailand, is that they all have the same company ferry. So in other words, the company pretty much owns the ferry port, and so that's why this is called the Raja Ferry Port. And the other one, while it is Nathon because it's in the town of Nathon, it's also the SEATRAN ferry port. So, what's interesting is being on an island, you know, they have local buses, right? But they also have a bus bus terminal that, quite frankly, is about the same size as the Ekamai bus terminal in Bangkok. And they have buses of equal or higher quality, quite frankly, that go in and out of that bus terminal. You know, and from the bus terminal, it's about, I don't know, a 7-minute ride to the Nathon port, where they drive the bus onto the ferry. And then they, basically take you to about, you know, an hour and a half later, they get you to Nathon Sak, which is basically the main pier, or one of, there's many actually. But it's the pier that a lot of you may or may not know of if you're a Samui person that doesn't just fly in. If you take the ferry, then you're familiar with Nathon Sak Pier in Surat Thani. And so then then the bus gets off, and then from there they drive you up to Bangkok or wherever you want to go, Chumpon, whatever, you know, depending upon the route you take. And I thought, well, that might be kind of interesting. But then for some reason, like taking a bus a long way, like I actually kind of like the bus ride down and back to Pattaya from Bangkok. It's also ridiculously convenient for me because Ekamai is a very easy BTS stop for me to get to. But additionally, on the return, you just tell them that you need them to stop at the basically lower Sukhumvit BTS stops, and so they will stop at Bang Na, or I'm sorry, they'll stop at Udom Suk, which is literally one stop away from where I live. So that's nice. So I don't have to like basically take the bus all the way back up to Ekamai and then take BTS back down to Punawiti. So that's nice. So it actually takes me less time to get back from Pattaya on the bus, and with very limited traffic. Like if I take it on a Saturday at like, you know, 10 in the morning, and there's effectively no traffic between Pattaya and Bangkok, then that bus ride is like 90 minutes. It's pretty sweet. So right now we're coming up on sort of like the road that pretty much is parallel with Lipa Bay. I will drive down here to the left just to show you guys the entrance to the well, it's a military base of some kind. I'm not really sure what it is, but I know that just going, or I don't know if just showing up there and saying, hey, can I get your national is allowed. So why don't we try that? Because I've never done this before, and it looks like I'm gonna have at least another 30 minutes of no rain. And that's pretty much how I've been planning my life here in Koh Samui since I got here, which is it gonna rain for the next 30 minutes? Okay, cool. I'll drive 15 minutes away, and then I can get 15 minutes back. Now, unfortunately, this sign is only in Thai, so I have no clue what it says. It does say stop. Oh, maybe I have to just put on my mask. So let me ask this guy. He might not speak English, but let me see what I can do. Sorry, Kap. Can go? Check in? Okay, Kap. Oh, passport, yeah. Sorry. Okay, Kap. Park? No. Okay, oh, got it, okay, yeah. Sai, no, Kwa, okay. Okay, Kap. Is that guns that I hear? Okay, I'll stay away from those people. All right, there we go. Okay, okay, so he took a picture of my passport. He took a picture of the license plate of the motorbike. He said, do not go left, I can go right. And that makes sense because on the right is the national park. Now you might not be able to hear it now. I certainly cannot hear it now, but from back there when I was just sitting there and there was no wind noise going over my face, I heard a lot of shooting. And if you know anything about me, you know that I really hate guns. I actually hate everything about them. But, oh, gun training field was off there to the left. So I'm gonna go away from that. Yeah, and I hear the sound in the background. And yeah, I don't like guns. So this road looks like it's literally half done. But I believe what I'm doing is I'm going to the national park. Now, okay, I'm gonna turn the camera to the right here because it's important that you kind of get an idea of the number of engines that are on the back of that Royal Thai police boat back there. That looks like 4 200 horsepower Mercuries. Not totally sure. It doesn't seem like they have the 200 label there. Oh, if you didn't notice, I actually do know the words for left and right, which is Sai and Kwa, respectively. I believe I'm pronouncing those correctly. So I think I can like hang out here. Okay, cool. So I can't. Oh, I cannot. No mobile and photo. I cannot take pictures past there. Well, that's a bummer. Just like I was actually going to go do some hiking, so it doesn't look like I can do any hiking. So anyway. You're gonna be like, did you drop off something nefarious and now you're leaving quickly? So yeah, it looks like they were 200 horsepower Mercuries, but yeah, to give you an idea of like how much I don't like guns, like literally I am more tense. I'm the most tense I've ever been in this entire trip, like hearing those rifles go off. It's just, yeah. Bad experiences in the past, and it's one of those things that I just simply carry with me. And so I'm quite versed in being able to remove those sort of scenarios from my life very easily. The good news is it's very easy to not interface with warfare along with arms, and so therefore I don't know whether he's going to check me out or whether he's just going to wave me out as I leave here, but and then again, I also have no clue whether I'm still streaming, and I also don't want to let you know that I cannot see the comments, so make sure I'm not supposed to check out. Couple my cop. Oop. All right, now he did briefly look at the front of the bike, and he kind of saw this camera on there. Now the good news is that the lens, the display on the front as well as on the back, it basically blacks out after about I think I have it set for like 8 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. So unless he can see the red LED blinking, which would be pretty difficult to do, I'm going to assume he's like, oh yeah, that guy was really nice, and he turned off his camera like he was supposed to. But again, I'm not so, you know, I don't believe, quite frankly, my channel has any sort of journalistic integrity such that I need to, like, you know, go somewhere and have a camera where I'm not supposed to have a camera. Like, I really need to, that's not what this is about for me, so. If that were the case, it would be very easy for me to buy one of those cameras that like looks like a button and put those on my shirt, and then oh, and just so you know, so okay, where I'm driving right now, you see where this van is kind of slowing down in front of me? To the left is a small, very small path entrance to the area that I was previously. where I was hanging out on the beach with the guy with his guitar, who I believe is still down there. I don't think he was a bad person. The piece of discomfort that I had was pretty much due to my own ignorance of Thai language. I really felt worse that I was unable to communicate with him. He seemed to be wanting to, and he seemed, you know, there also. He was fortunate. He was like, oh my God, this is the only way I can live happy right now, or whatever. I mean, it's Sunday, right? I mean, he probably doesn't have work. He's like, hey, I'm going to go get drunk and I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to play my guitar. Okay, fine. But, you know, for me, the whole, like, interface with people that are inebriated, it's certainly never a proactive goal and usually doesn't yield any sort of enjoyment for me. Off here to the left right now, that was where I entered. And then you can sort of, like, cruise along in the dirt path they've made a parking lot of. There's also another entrance back there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically cruise back to my hotel. My restaurant is open. The restaurant at my hotel, my resort, is open until 4 p.m. And as mentioned before, I've been the only person eating there, with the exception of a guy who, like, seemed to come by with his young daughter, and they, like, had breakfast yesterday, I think, but they weren't staying there, because when they were done, they, like, you know, they gave me the bow and the why, or they gave me the bow, she gave me the why, and then they walked off down the beach, so I assumed that they lived down the beach or something like that. So well, again, it's it doesn't look very rainish, so so you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drive past the entrance to my resort here in Lipa Bay, and I'm going to drive sort of away from Lipa Bay. This area is also referred to as Lipa Noi. Actually, where we came from is more Lipa Noi, and then this is more Lipa Bay. This is a sort of posh resort here to the left. But again, my resort, I mean, it's actually sort of appropriate to refer to it as my resort because I am literally the only person there. I saw a sign back there advertising a room, hotel room, it looked like, for rent, $3,500 baht a month. And usually those are tacked up on the telephone poles near the areas where they're offering them. I'm having a sip of Coke right now, and because I've been driving around, obviously it's just sprayed out all over the bottom of the motorbike because it was shaken, not stirred. The sign that I go underneath to go to my Lipa Bay resort, the sign above it is Lipa Noi Beach too. So let me to give you an idea of sort of like when it sort of died down here. There's a, you see that sign there to the left? Like, not that you can see the detail of it, but I think what it's doing is promoting, you know, fights, right? Like Muay Thai. But the date on it is Wednesday, February 19th of this year. And the reason I bring that up is it's very common that the last sort of signs I see advertising anything like that a lot of people would attend are pretty much February. Occasionally I'll see something in March. Like, I think they had their last full moon party in March in Koh Samui, but I'm not sure. And I'm just going to verify that I'm live-ish. Is that a gun that I hear? Yeah, thanks, Aztec. Hold on, let me go to live.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
How do I go to live? Okay, so that, now I'm live. Okay, cool, yeah, so I'm right here. Wow, because my phone, it just says H+.
Yeah, thanks, Aztec.
That's amazing. Really? I didn't know. And then I'm meeting, just so you know, I'm going to get back to only. Battery's at 57% on my phone. The tethering, I will tell you, on this phone is very efficient. I'm able to go multiple hours. I've got 70% on the That's 70% on the camera, so it looks like I'm doing pretty good. Anyway, so back to that guy. You know, he seemed like a very nice guy, and obviously he was trying to be friendly. But there were a couple of things that I inferred from his motioning as well as his speech and that sort of thing. And I don't mean this in a bad way, because again, I have no judgment whatsoever of anyone's, you know, sexual preference, right? So whether they're heterosexual or homosexual or bisexual or whatever, I mean, that's fine. Because quite frankly, I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. My preference is Gracie. But again, if someone were to be like, oh, no, you have to be with this girl or you have to be with this guy, obviously that would be pretty offensive. Or maybe it's not obvious. It would be very offensive. Let me just say that. So anyway, my point is that the reason for that preface, this is take all the way from sort of that, like I know here, and you take a resort. There's a air course. The market like sort of me and throw there that there was a part of me believes that he was trying to indicate to me that he's gay and that he liked men and he wanted me to be his friend in that way. But the reason I'm not like anywhere near close to 51% sure is that he didn't look at me in sort of a, you know, sort of a suggestive way sort of thing. But anyway, the bottom line is I felt simply more comfortable leaving him there and thanking him for the interaction than I did staying there and trying to communicate with him, even though, I mean, at the end of the day, if it was like, you know, a person that did not seem to be inebriated and didn't seem that they wanted to, you know, get with me, then I probably would have pulled out Google Translate and been like, hey, let's hang out. Additionally, the way that he was playing his guitar, obviously he only knew 3 chords. Not the least of which was one that has no fingers on the frets, which, of course, every single one of us can play that on a guitar. When I was driving down this road to my hotel, when I got here a couple of nights ago, or a couple of days ago, it was literally pouring rain, and but it was kind of nice actually, because it was warm. One of the things that I really do like actually is to have my cruise around when it is raining, and of course it's warm because it's Southeast Asia, it's Thailand. So for the most part, it's never cold, which is nice. And when it's raining like that, you know, and the raindrops on my head feel kind of cool. So I like that. But I'm riding a motorbike, and with the exception of maybe 3 times where I've only went like down to the 7-Eleven that I could actually walk to, I pretty much wear my helmet 100% of the time, so therefore I can't feel the raindrops on my head. This is sort of a very authentic village, quite frankly. I know this happens in the US, but I think it happens more in Thailand, where if you get some affluence, it seems more common to build a nicer home on the property that you've always lived on than it is to move out of the neighborhood and move in like a nicer development, or to move into, you know, it seems like what you do is you just simply make a nicer house where you are from. And it's interesting because, I mean, you'll drive down the street and there'll be this like amazingly, you know, awesome brand new house next to, quite frankly, what we would refer to as a shack, because it's just like stood up with, you know, that corrugated metal, or whatever you call that sort of like wavy metal that they use for for roofs traditionally, and a lot of times the roofs will be just simply placed over, you know, whatever sort of framing that they could afford or could do at the time. And it's interesting because a lot of times I would look up there and they wouldn't be nailed down. They would just have old tires basically holding down the roofing all over so that this guy behind me can, well, cruise by me. Because he seemed like he was, well, he's in a car, so he's in some more of a hurry than I am, certainly. And, now, for those of you that have been to Samui and have been here during normal times, i.e., you know, 1 year ago or more, I'm sure roads like this, you're like, yeah, no worries, I would rent a motorbike, cruise around. I'm coming up to a busier street, and if this were like normal time, and it's actually good for Phuket too for me, I would not normally rent a motorbike and cruise around in Phuket. The other learning that I have from this trip, because of the time of year, and I like to explore, you know, is if I were to do it over again, I probably would have rented a car. Because yesterday after the Bangkok Strange live stream, my plan was to go to a meeting. And that meeting started at 11 o'clock, and I was getting ready to leave about 10:30. And literally at 10:28, it started pouring rain. And so I was like, okay, well, looks like I'm staying in. And for the most part, that's relative to my level of comfort, as well as my skill set, level of safety I feel on a motorbike when it's raining. Like on that road back there, if it was pouring rain, that's fine. I'll just go like right now I'm going 30 kilometers an hour. I'd just go 20. That's fine. And I wouldn't feel, you know, in harm's way. But like this street, for example, I wouldn't feel so bad on this street. And again, I did drive on this street the other direction when I went to my hotel the day that I got here. But it can be kind of busy, and there'll be big trucks on it. The rotary that I'm coming up to and the left that I'm going to take will take me to Nathon Pier. And that location is definitely, this street that's coming up is one of these deals where I can understand why people say, oh, there's no drive on the roads in Samui, it's so busy. Right now I'm going about 42 kilometers an hour, and so a bus terminal there on the left, and actually I don't see any big buses in there, otherwise I would have turned around and driven in and shown you what I mean. But basically, for the most part, the buses I've seen in there are those ones that they're quite new, and like the mirrors they have on the sides are these giant like mirrors, and they look like the paddle, I guess, that you use for what is that sport? Highlight. They look like paddles that you use at highlight, and very large. They take up a half of the height of the bus. Anyway, very, very new. That's what I saw come in and out of there this time, as well as the last time I was here. Now the good news is, so I'm going like 40. The truck that's behind me is, you know, he's not too close, but I'm sure if he has the opportunity, he'll pass me. And really the only reason I'm going this speed is that the guy in front of me is going that speed. Normally I would actually just follow this lady if he wasn't there. I prefer to drive slower, but I'm okay with 42 or however fast. On the left here is a market that has been here every single day for me. They seem to sell fish and vegetables. This guy seems to be slowing down and pulling over, so great. I will go past him, and right now, and I'm at about 38, 39 kilometers an hour. And what I really prefer to do, like on these busy roads, simply follow the behavior of the Thai person on the motorbike follow her lead and go off the main and into this sort of area when she or he is doing it. So I like stuff like that. I like being able to, you see this sign here, it says SEATRAN ferry pier. So actually coming up here, you don't have a choice. You have to left. It is one way. So the street basically straight ahead or to the right. That's one way pretty much all the way from the SEATRAN ferry, the Nathon ferry, down to right here. This takes you all the way to the beach. I'm gonna double check my phone, see if I'm still streaming. I'm going about 28 kilometers an hour right now, so I feel pretty comfortable opening up my phone. And I actually want to go to the GoPro app. It says my stream health is 1,073 kilobits a second, which I'm comfortable saying that we're still streaming with. It's only when the GoPro app basically seems to be spinning, seems to spin, that that I believe that we're not streaming live. Yeah, cool. All right, so we're live on. Hold on. There we go. We're live on YouTube. Let's see what that looked like on the replay. Yeah, there you go. So. The good news is people, hold on, let me put my phone away. Let me not text and drive. How's that? Can we all agree that that's a wise? There we go. How's that? It's got this thread. Oh, actually, you know what? So that Thai massage place there on the right, I actually went for a Thai massage there before, because it was right down the street from the hotel that I stayed at before, but it wasn't decent, and so I won't go back. Because if there's one thing I've learned, if there's one easy way to define insanity, i.e. doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, in my experience, that's going back to the same Thai massage place that you went to one time and didn't have a good massage experience. Because like, okay, yeah, maybe the girl's having a bad day, kind of like, you go to a restaurant, the food's really good, but the waitress is lame. Okay, fine, the waitress is having a bad day. But for some reason, I've never seen the, there we go. I've never seen benefit to going to the same massage place twice if I have a bad experience the first time. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna park up here, and then I'm gonna walk through the area where they have the night market. It may not be occurring tonight, that's why I say that. But it looks like, yeah, no, it looks like they're setting up. For the most part, getting to this night market I've found around 4:30 is excellent, because everything that I order has just been made. And so it's pretty warm. Let me do this, let me drive all the way to the pier. You can see the market on the left here, but for the most part it's being set up. The other thing that I do is I look for people that are bringing down the clear plastic covers on the sides of their tent, because again, the best way to find out, like, oh my god, is the rain coming? It's to watch the behavior of the Thais, because right now I will say to myself, oh no, it's not going to rain. But the Thais are motioning to move that down. Oh, so I'll show you where I rent my motorbike. If you're ever on Samui, it's right here, right at the end of the pier. These motorbikes on the left. This is where I rent my motorbikes from. And in fact, we can say hello to her. She just drove past me back there. I'll wait for these people. The lady that owns the place, her name is Bom, and she was just back there. So unless I miss her turning around, then she's going to turn around again. I'll see me. Oh, there she is. Cool. I wanted to come by. I'm doing YouTube, and I wanted to let everybody know to rent motorbike here. Yeah. So hello. Yeah. Say hello, YouTube. This is Bom. She rents good motorbikes. Yeah, absolutely. Right on. Cool. Thank you. See you later. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Yeah, so she's my buddy. And I rent motorbikes for her. and you will see it says Bomb and Best, BOM ampersand BEST, and that's the name of the place. And whoops, sorry. My experience has been even from the first time, like before she, in air quotes, knew me. I have I'm like most of you that will have gone through the process of getting a driver's license. You'll have gotten the Thai driver's license for a car as well as a motorbike. And so what I'm in the habit of doing, because I will not leave my passport like with anybody, with the exception of maybe like immigration or the guy that I trust to do my immigration work, is that anyway, okay, yeah. So what I do is it is blowing so hard right now that like if I did not know the performance of this camera, I'd be like, okay, there's no way anybody can hear me. I'm just gonna be quiet. Because it's like 30, I'm going 32 kilometers an hour, and I'm probably going into a 10 knot wind. So I would be like, nah, there's no way they can hear me, but I know you can. Because Nicholas, the CEO of GoPro, is what we refer to in the tech world as amazeballs. Anyway, okay, so Bomb and Best. Bomb, she takes my automotive driver's license and holds that, and therefore I don't need to give her a financial deposit. She didn't even want to like take a picture of my passport. So anyway, but I also leave my phone number, and you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure that like she knows everybody on the island, as everyone knows the lady on the pier that rents motorbikes. So now I've absolutely taken this ride before. I really don't even remember like what happens. I don't remember what happens when I go up here. So it's not literally like we're both experiencing it for the first time, but well, I don't remember. I know there's a 7-Eleven up here on the right, and I've stopped there before for a Diet Coke, which reminds me, I have a Coke that I need to drink because I don't particularly like it when they get warm. The only way to cool it down will be to be going back to my room and putting it in the fridge. I don't really feel like going home just yet. So the look up the clouds indicates to me that I can still get away with like not getting rained on. I did put the waterproof battery door on the camera when I put the second battery in, so considering I don't have any other electronics outside except the GoPro, if it does start raining, well, who cares, right? The GoPro's waterproof. I'm glad Dave asked earlier today, i.e. Gotta Love Thailand, I'm glad he asked earlier today whether I got the media mod, because if any of you are thinking, oh, I have to get the media mod for better audio quality, I gotta tell you, as far as I'm concerned, no way. Because with the media waterproof, so just get a Mike, what happens when you talk directly into oncoming wind for 35 minutes? I sound like I've been smoking 2 packs a day. Just get the door that allows the hole for the USB-C connector to be available to you. And you can pretty much have very similar experiences to having the media mod. Now, I thought the media mod provided a forward-facing only microphone, and I'm like, okay, that's a good idea. But in reviewing the performance of it with Dana's camera, I realized that, yeah, it's got a forward-facing... Oh, you know what? You know how I measure, like, the quality of island by the number of rope swing? I believe there's a rope swing up here on the left, and I'm gonna stop at that and we're gonna hang out there. Yeah, and I swear it's here before this hill that's coming up there. So I'm gonna put my blinker on. Oh, it's down there. All right, I'll show this to you guys because this is actually kind of cool looking, and all I gotta do is twist off and then twist on my rope swing. Sorry, my rope swing. Twist on or twist off my camera. But to give you an idea of the rope swing that I sat at before, and I actually, the last time I was here on this rope swing, Rob and I were conversing because I was able to like go down there and then walk over here and go to that rope swing. So I get a little wet. Oh, you know what? I know I can zoom up to 2x digitally on this. Let me try and see if I can do that using the no, I don't. I'm like tapping the thing, and like usually that would allow me for controls, but as far as I can tell, there's no way for me to zoom in. Anyway, I know that you can see this, but that was just sort of funny. I'm like, oh yeah, that rope swing. Where actually I could barely touch the ground, so you're looking at about probably about a meter of water there. But anyway, that was a very cool rope swing. When I was here the last time I was here, the water was out so far that I could have walked probably half a kilometer out there before I would have hit. You can't really see it. Off to the right, it's sort of like a mangrove area. And the only reason I say mangrove is I simply don't know how to describe an area that has trees that look like they're in the water at the high tide, and then on the low tide, it looks like they're... if you know what that area is, or where Bangkok is, in Koh Samui, then you know where I am. I don't. I mean, I know that I'm north of Nathon, but the other nice thing is I'm pretty certain that when Mom looked at this camera, she wasn't like, oh my God, he's scratching my friggin' Alright. This is tight. You see, so trucks like that, like that's what makes me not want to cruise around on the motorbike. Why did I take my key out? That's just a habit, I guess. Still gives me a chance to reposition my mirrors for safety. That's kind of cool. All right, good. And all right, good. So, all right, let me, yeah. So, Bomb's a nice lady, and. You may or may not recognize her if you were to go to the night market, actually, because a lot of times she's, I believe it's not like she's like a volunteer police person, but she's like, it says it on the back of their vests that they wear, but at the end of the day, she's basically a volunteer who's helping check people in and out of the market as they walk in, and so it's just, you know, she hands out the little round stickers you put on your shirt. As well as, you know, point you to take your temperature. There is a QR code there, but for the most part, I'm the only person I've seen around here that's diligent about doing the QR codes when available. In fact, when that guard back on the gun range, when he came to me, what I thought he asked me for is he was going to like bring up a QR code on his phone and I was going to check in. But what he was doing is he was simply opening up the camera app on his phone. And then, of course, as you noted, he needed to see my passport. These look like water trucks to me. Not totally certain why. I guess I could cruise down here and follow the water truck guy just to see like where he goes. This is Soy 15, if you're familiar with Koh Samui. All of the water that I am in right now is being provided by this truck in front of me. I can see right like near where his left front tire was. Looks like about a 1-inch hose, and there was water coming out of that thing pretty steadily. Did I mention my throat's dry from talking into the wind? So, I don't know if you guys do this, like when you come somewhere in Thailand and like rent a motorbike, or whether you have like a destination in mind. Or... You know, I gotta tell you, I mean, I like Gmail, okay? But like if Gmail wasn't available, then I would simply use another web-based, you know, email service. Like Office 365, hosted Exchange is fine. Email for Outlook, you know, it's a desktop. And Google Maps, I swear, things like Google Maps and TransferWise and WhatsApp, I mean, apps like that, not only do they make global travel like actually as easy as going to the library in my hometown, but I think they actually make it possible for some people, because I know guys that are like so committed to being, I'm just gonna follow this truck because I'm very curious where a water truck goes here, because he's going where there's like, you know, very sophisticated. How did the bumps look like? Oh, how did that look on the GoPro? I mean, damn it, there's power above me. It's very modern. I can't believe that. My point is that, you know, they've got power out here, so they probably have water too, right? They would have water, wouldn't they? So I'm curious why a water truck would be cruising out here. Anyway, Google Maps is amazing because, again, it's Google Maps, right? It's not just like, what was the old digital map solution we used to use before? MapQuest, right? So it's not just MapQuest where it's like, okay, it's got GPS and there's a map overlay. But I mean, I can just like hit the circle, right? And it will like go to where I am. It will show me hotel. Those are beautiful houses up there, right? Look, that's cool that I have the ability to tilt this back like it's broken, like it has movement. Those are pretty awesome homes. But I can, I could literally do it right here. I could open up Google Maps and it would be like, oh yeah, gas station, hotel, restaurant. I mean, I could literally eat, live, and, you know, find transportation. I can do banking based on everything. Oh, okay. Oh, is this resort?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Mile Cup.
Where you go?
Just driving around, exploring. What is the? Oh, Four Season.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Four Season member. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. I forgot about that. If you guys don't know, the paradigm for the Four Seasons many times is to operate exactly like that. Meaning that that sign for Four Seasons is pretty much hidden from view. Like I had no clue where I was, right? And that is because a lot of times the Four Seasons is commonly the default resort, I learned, for people that are visible. So yeah, stars and that sort of thing that don't necessarily, you know, want the paparazzi, right? There's a sign up there on the palm tree that said rain gutter, damn it, rain gutter, 15-year guarantee with a phone number, all in English. So I'm guessing that like gringos like to buy 15-year rain gutters here, like that's crucial. I didn't really sort of acknowledge the fact that that was, you know, one of the things that's available at the Four Seasons is significant privacy. Now, the other thing that's available, of course, is, you know, 6-star service, right? I'm assuming that this is a, well, it doesn't say anything here, but I'm assuming that this is a, I'm assuming that this is a puddle that's not any more than an inch deep. The second thing I'm assuming is that this is a community, Koh Samui Beach Resort and Spa. Now there's no guard here. Oh yeah, there's cars over there, so it looks like it's open. But anyway, it looks like there's like awesome resorts here. And, you know, while that is academically interesting, and now let me just double check, make sure I'm still streaming. Anyway, yeah, so the Four Seasons, I discovered that a couple of things that were common is that my buddies that were, you know, visible, right? And be that a CEO of a global tech company or, you know, someone who's a household name because of their rock starness that you guys would know. And I'm not like name dropping, I'm just saying that like I have friends that do that for a living. They're very visible for a living. And Four Seasons is their go-to. So
Because of their rock starness.
there we go. Cool. All right. And what does the GoPro app say that I'm doing as far as streaming? Man, the GoPro app, I did this at 720 because I'm like, you know what, that might drop it. And I gotta tell you, I think choosing 720 for these mobile rides is really the sweet spot. Now, arguably, I could go 480, and then, you know, then I could. But the fact that I've been able to do 720, and I've been looking at my phone, and it says H+ when I'm doing, you know, that. I mean, I'm quite certain that it dumps down to like, you know, to 480 on the receiving end. However, the other thing that I noticed is that while YouTube can be forgiving, like, I mean, I'm quite certain that during a lot of these drivings, there have been places along this way that I don't know have yielded a swirling circle, and then, you know, it sort of catches back up. YouTube is pretty forgiving in that area. But the GoPro app, once the GoPro app pretty much loses its ability to connect to via RTMP to sort of like the distribution, and whether that's a one-to-one, you're going directly to YouTube, or you're going to an RTMP, you know, multicast system, which of course is what I use. So I go to one location, and then from there I stream to YouTube and DLive and DK and I forgot to take a drink back there. Damn it, Mike. I'm gonna do that right here. I'm guessing that the guy who made suits right here, he's that's awesome. He was open from 9:33 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's great. I'm quite certain that he's all closed up probably since March. I see his electric bill is stuffed in up there. I suppose I could look at that to see the last time they came and looked at that, but anyway, what I've discovered is that while there will occasionally be swirling and caching and that sort of thing, once the GoPro app starts swirling, then it's pretty much game over. I can't like, in fact, I think the only, it seems like it tries to reconnect, but I've never experienced it swirling and then it reconnecting. So I don't have time to buy a suit. I do like the Four Seasons, I will tell you that. I prefer Ritz-Carlton, the Ritz-Carlton brand. But again, I only really like to stay at those locations when, well, those locations or any location, quite frankly, when I'm not distracted by the price. I'm going to tighten this up a little bit. I think I'm going to tighten this up a little bit. I believe that what I'm going to do next will allow me to tighten this up a little bit. So if I can do that, I do this, and then I put the tension a little bit more. I get it on the threads. I believe that'll hold it. There we go. Hold on, stand by. Again, if you're just joining or you're unaware, I'm on a GoPro Hero 9 tethered to my phone, and I'm driving, so I'm unable to see your comments. So yeah, so that's interesting. So that's where the Four Seasons is. And that's also been my experience, that the delta between those two types of solutions is that the Four Seasons will have a significant more anonymity than, say, the Ritz-Carlton. And it's not like those are the only two luxury brands. They're just ones that sort of popped into my head. The main reason I like the Four Seasons is for the anonymity. The main reason I like the Ritz-Carlton is for their culture. And if you don't know, one of the phrases I've used before that I really love, that you probably heard me say ad nauseum, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. And they don't just say that, like in their morning briefing, if you will, the manager, let's say, or the leader of a certain team will come out, and all the workers, if you will be sitting there, you know, frontline workers, as well as, you know, food and beverage manager. Four Seasons, I see the Estates is up there and off to the left. And they will refer to their workers as ladies and gentlemen. They will say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we have this special, today we have this VIP arriving, today we have these things happening. Now, this is one of these roads right here that, quite frankly, is very similar in feeling as well as look to me as the busy streets that I would prefer to not drive on in Phuket as well. I don't particularly like cruising down these streets, but right now I don't feel so. I'm not so concerned because the people cruising past me are, like me, only going about 40-45 kilometers an hour. There's a low density of people, so therefore there's not you know, there's not two lanes of cars, right? So I effectively, the left lane is the bike lane, which is nice, so I don't feel trampled on. And the way that people are driving, nobody's in a hurry, nobody's beeping. And my experience in Phuket is that when it's normal, there's roads like that actually are more like this, where they have basically one lane and then they've got another lane on the left, which is, you know, I mean, I could park here, cars could park here, there's no big deal, but it's also sort of commonly referred to as the bike lane. And I've been on roads like this where, you know, the cars are bumper to bumper, like a couple of trucks were up there. But, you know, like, there's a guy, he's like right on somebody's bumper and he's beeping, and it's like, dude, seriously, like, you're in a hurry on Phuket. Okay, whatever. I will tell you that the delta in affluence between Phuket and Koh Samui is easily a factor of 3. Like, I see very few expensive luxury cars here. I don't see very many Mercedes here. I saw one Porsche SUV. I'm gonna have to pull over again and have some more beverage. But saw a lot of Mercedes on Phuket, and don't see that many here. And as I mentioned before, I mentioned this to Rob, I'm like, dude, compared to 5 years ago when I was here on Phuket, dude, the affluence here is gotten just significant. A lot of Mercedes, not a lot, many Mercedes, a significant amount of Lexus, which I was surprised at. A lot of Honda Accords, and you might be like, okay, well, big deal, Mike, it's an Accord. Well, Honda Accord is actually quite a luxury vehicle here in Thailand. If for no other reason than, you know how Lexus is the Toyota luxury brand, right? Well, Acura is the Honda luxury brand. Well, there's no Acura here. And I learned that the reason for that, not that there isn't market share for it, because there's obviously market share for the Lexus. Acuras are not made in left-hand drive. I didn't realize that. They only, or, you know, right-hand drive, meaning like left-hand drive of the road, so therefore the steering wheel is on the right. They don't make those. Acura does not make any of those. So Acuras are only sold in countries that drive on the right. And here's what's interesting about driving on the right, is that I am so accustomed to driving on the right, as well as, like, when I come to a street, I immediately look to the right. I don't look to the left, which is what is my default setting to do for oncoming traffic in the US. That now when I see ago or whatever, and it shows like cars driving on the right, I acknowledge the fact that my brain immediately, oh my God, guys driving on the wrong road. The most recent example is last night when I watched the movie that claimed to be the #8 most popular thing being watched on Netflix last night in Thailand, The Italian Job, a movie with many actors that you would recognize. It was kind of like it was a movie that was, you know, tantamount to basically being like Ocean's 11. Anyway, it was called The Italian Job, but one of the guys that was in it was Jason Statham, who I'm a fan of for a number of reasons, but not the least of which is I have a friend who actually looks quite like him, and in fact, the way that he sculpts himself, the way that he keeps himself kept, meaning his shortness of hair and the way that he takes physically good care of his body, with sunglasses on, you cannot distinguish between him and Jason Statham. Anyway, so Jason Statham was one of the people, one of the actors in the movie. As I watched it, it was an entertaining movie, but the acting wasn't as good as in Ocean's 11. Nonetheless, one of the scenes in it is they're driving basically away from where they had a big heist in Venice. So I believe in the movie they're supposed to be driving like away from their getaway house in Austria, and it shows the van driving on the right-hand side of the the street. And I'm like, oh my God! In my brain, I just thought, oh, they're driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm like, what? So it's going to be interesting when I go back to the United States and get in a car for the first time. I'm sure it'll come back to me quite quickly, but because when I see a car on basically the right-hand side of the road now, like when I saw those two cars back there passing the other cars, I was like, oh, that seems weird. Obviously those guys are passing somebody. Obviously those guys are driving on the, in air quotes, wrong side of the road. Man, there is so much wind right now. It's amazing. I can barely even hear myself. I'm going about 48 kilometers an hour. Anyway, so I've sort of exhausted my desire to go any further, because if I were to go any further, I'm just, I'm going to simply eventually end up in Chaweng Beach. And there's nothing in Chaweng Beach. I mean, there's just nothing in Chaweng Beach as there is nothing here right now. I don't need anything if there's 7-Eleven, otherwise I would... Oh, actually, well, I do, but there's one that's closer to my place. And the reason I like shopping at 7-Eleven simply is because I can use the True Wallet app there. I'm going to double check and see if I'm still streaming. Looks like I got stream health on the GoPro app of 1720. I'll go to the YouTube thing. I'll hit the live and try and see if I can... Okay, cool. So it looks like I'm still streaming on YouTube. Got 45% battery on my phone. And on the camera, I've got... Ooh, it's in the yellow. I've got about 20... Looks like I got 26. That might be 16. Considering the visualization of the battery symbol, looks like I'm doing about 26%. All right, glasses, helmet, got my camera. Let me button up my pocket. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to simply keep driving around until the camera stops blinking, or at least until I pull over and I note that I'm not streaming live. I figure there's no downside to doing this. It'll at least have an account on my channel of what I did today. And okay, so there's no cars coming my direction and no coming the other direction, so I'm safe to turn around and make a U-turn, and we shall head back. I'm at 306.7 kilometers on the odometer. 306.7, so it'll be interesting to see basically how far away I got from from the resort, 306.7 if there is anybody watching. Then you can do the quick math when I get back there and subtract 306.7 from whatever number I report to you to see how far away I am. I'll also try and remember to look at the odometer as we're passing the Nathon Pier. See how far north I am from that. Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you, I really prefer driving like on the back roads, just like cruising around, versus driving on a road like this, you know. I mean, these roads are installed and designed to basically get people reliably and quickly from point A to point B at a higher rate of speed. And that's not why I'm here. Like, I've told you guys before, when I look on Google Maps, I purposely am like, oh, how do I get there the long way? How do I go the shorter roads? How do I get away from trucks like that? No, see, that's interesting. There's Food Panda. I could have sworn I've seen Food Panda, and I've also seen Grab Food guys. But when I opened up the app at my resort, they won't deliver that far away. And I'm like, man, I'm only, well, we'll find out how many kilometers I am away from the Nathon Pier. But there probably isn't the density, I guess, of people. That's an Accord right there. That's a Honda Accord, by the way. A luxury vehicle in not just Thailand, but in this part of the world. The Honda Accord, the Mazda 7 Series, the Toyota Camry. Those were luxury cars in Hong Kong, as was the Tesla. I don't see any Teslas in Bangkok. I see more Porsche, and I've seen a couple of Ferraris and a couple of Lamborghinis in Bangkok. But I don't believe I've seen any Teslas in Bangkok. So, but I saw a lot of Teslas in Hong Kong, I'll tell you that. Arguably, though, where gringos would live, basically, where gringos would live in Hong Kong, and for the sake of argument, I'll make that synonymous with affluent communities in Hong Kong. Compared to the affluent communities in Bangkok, there's a lot more, I don't see any Teslas in affluent communities in Bangkok. But for all I know, I just haven't been to the right affluent communities in Bangkok. And by that, I'm basically meaning like locations near Lumpini, Chitlom, basically from Sukhumvit all the way down to the top of the north end of Lumpini Park. Large expat communities there, and you know what's interesting is that the thought that just ran through my mind as that basically older white guy, you know, like slowly just sort of cruised across the road. For some reason, I was like, oh yeah, this guy, the thing that flashed in my head, oh man, this guy's not doing me any favors. If that were me, I probably would have walked across the street. I probably would have sort of, you know, gone at a faster pace. But for some reason, the fact that he did it, if it was a Thai person, an elderly Thai person, I absolutely would have been like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to slow down right now. But because it was a white guy, for some reason I was like, ah, dude, come on, you can walk faster than that. I don't know why. It's like, as a white guy, against white guys. I don't know. Is that right? I don't know if that's a correct label, but whatever. I suppose sharing that really didn't add any value other than giving you the ability to judge me more than you might possibly do, which is totally fine. Because I think it's actually very important to judge people. I think that a lot of people will say that they don't judge people because in reality what they're doing is they're saying that they don't outwardly negatively describe people and put them in a group of people that they will label as having less rights than them, being less intelligent than them, less affluent than them, basically negative things that they would classify someone else as. They don't outwardly express that. But I think it's very important to be able to assess somebody. Maybe that's a better way of describing it. To assess somebody based on their behavior as someone that you believe you are congruent with, like the way that your definition of integrity is synonymous with this other person's level of integrity. It is so loud right now that in my ears going to cannot hear the motor of this motorbike. And obviously there's more of a load on the motor going up a hill at 50 kilometers an hour. I cannot hear the motorbike. Now the wind has seemed to have died down, obviously because I'm slowing down, but also because there is no oncoming wind where I am right now. Yeah, I forgot. I knew the I recall the last time I came up here, the Four Seasons, the Estates is back there. And that's a lot of times what I found is that for the Four Seasons, their branded version of condo or living facility or condo-tel, where you'll basically have, that's a pretty nice view, isn't it? Where you'll basically have a potentially fractional ownership, or you'll have 100% ownership of a condo that you purchase for the sole reason of not spending 100% of your time there, and you will basically outsource the management and the renting of that property to a brand such as the Four Seasons. And the example that comes to mind for me of that is the sort of condo-tel model. I believe of the bottom, I want to say the bottom 40 stories of the Nathon building in Bangkok, which is arguably my favorite building in the entire world. The Nathon building is the one that is, it looks like it's twisted. It looks like it's twisted Legos. And so Nathon is sort of the label for that. It's also sort of sponsored by the company that is they have a significant number of stores that sell King Power is their name, but I'm trying to think of what is the type of store that King Power is? Oh God, I mean, I'm sure you're putting these in the comments right now, but it's the stores that, oh yeah, duty-free shops. Jesus, Mike, yeah. So the King Power duty-free shop, so the King Power brand was a big sponsor to the Nathon building, so many people will refer to the Nathon building as the King Power building.
the Four Seasons brand. And as far as I know, the Four Seasons brand is actually part of the IHG Hotels group, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I know that Ritz-Carlton is part of the Marriott Starwood brand. It's one of the brands of Marriott Starwood. But I can't remember who Four Seasons is. They might be their own solo brand, but I don't think so. I can't remember what group they're part of though, if they are. I believe I've only stayed at 2 Four Seasons. That's going to do is get you to pay attention to me. What I wanted to do is get you to not run out in front of me, little dog. But it seemed like blowing the horn at least, appeared to give me the result I was looking for. Full guard out in front of me as I'm 50 kilometers an hour. I'll tell you, this is about my maximum speed. And really, the only reason I'm going this speed is because I'm on a road where the majority of the people on this road go faster than this. But also I see dark clouds ahead, as they say. And so therefore it makes me think, oh, there's a chance of rain. I'm going to take a right here because I believe this brings me to the road that goes right by the water. Yeah, cool. I remembered correctly. I am going to stop at the market. I'll take you with me if I'm still streaming live. But I'm going to stop at the market because there's this one, family place that makes these. Well, it's a deep fried pastry. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I believe it's either typically referred to as an Indian food or a Muslim food. I'm not quite sure. They're about, it's a triangle. It's about 2.5 inches on each side. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what they're called. The word pot sticker pops into my head, but that's actually inaccurate. Wow, okay, so remember the lane that I pulled down onto the ferry, onto the pier back there where we saw Balm? That lane is filled with cars all the way from the beginning all the way down to the end of the pier. They refer to that as the fast lane. But that's the lane that you sit in your car to get on the ferry. And so it is now Sunday. I'm going to go with about 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock. There's infinitely less shops open now over there than there were before. I don't know what this guy is waiting to get out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here. And the post office is closed. That's right, it is Sunday. While they are open, they don't do deliveries on Sunday. And they obviously close early. I'm going to scoot across the street and park right over here. And then we're going to take the camera with us if it's still streaming live. And I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to buy some food and I'm going to show you what I'm going to buy. But also I'm going to show you one of the reasons I like this market because of the stage they have set up. The stage they have set up, the last few times I've been here, which has been every night, they have had music playing, but then they would have a host and a hostess come out, a man and a woman, obviously all of us in Thai. But then they would have a young girl, and I swear she's maybe 1 meter tall. And she was dressed up, like, if I say the word Isan, does that sort of describe what I'm talking about? Meaning she's got the extra long fingernails. and she's got a headdress of some kind. And oh boy, it feels good to stand up. I was really hunched over there for a little bit. I was hunched over at the beach. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to put my helmet in underneath the seat and not hang it off of the handlebars, even though the seat's not going to shut all the way. But last time I put a helmet hanging off the handlebars upside down and it rained, I came out, I had a helmet full of water. And that took approximately 1 day to dry, which was okay, because then I just put on a helmet that was wet, which then allowed me to have a nice cool head as I cruised around, actually. Let me, I also have I have a mask that I will put on right now to be a part of the community. I will also enter at the entrance where I check in and they take my temperature because that's appropriate. Oh, it feels good to stand. Oh, sorry, I didn't verify if I'm streaming. It's also probably a good idea to check my battery too. So I've got 42%, and oh, it feels good to stand. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Okay, cool. I didn't verify if I'm streaming. All right, good. I guess I am streaming. 42% on the phone. I do have a battery pack with me that I can plug into the phone as well as the camera. Anyway, so if you're here and you don't feel like renting from Balm, literally all you got to do is walk down the street and, well, first of all, there's great restaurants, but there's like and cars. A lot of times you'll see Jeeps. It'll say motorbike and Jeep for rent. So normally, and I'm actually going to do this because I've been touching other stuff, but you'll see these. It's like a PVC made thing. So you basically put your foot. Now the bottom is broken, if you can see that. So I'm not going to step on it, but basically you step on it and it gives you the. This guy is skilled. Gang Mark. Nice, man. I was like, oh, he's gonna hit this thing, and it's like, no, he's an inch away. He's got plenty of room. So all of these things here, when I was here last time, the last 2 nights, now it is Sunday night, so I can understand why they potentially aren't open. It is, oh, it's 2:04. They may open at 4 o'clock too. But a lot of times out there, so you see the green tent underneath that on the table, what they'll do is they'll, there's a QR code that you can check in, but they also have a, what do you call it? No, not mimosas. Samosas? Is that what I'm gonna? Anyway, they have a clipboard where you can put your name on it, that sort of thing. So anyway, so the place that I like, that I bought stuff before, doesn't look like they have. Doesn't look like they. Oh yeah, they doesn't. Yeah, it's this one right here. This one sets up. And then actually I love these things. They're like a rice thing and they have like a brown sugar drizzle on it. I love those. Anyway, whatever they make there is what I like. But they're not here yet. So I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't have enough battery to wait 2 hours and then still stream. But the last time I was here, it was only tents. They've since put this up here. And then the shops inside here are of, I don't know, I want to say, I guess, higher quality, but oh, and here I got a chicken kebab, which was awesome. They have 2 sizes, right? Okay, well, I'll just get the small. So that was 60 baht. Oh my God. It was so much food for 60 baht. I'm like, oh my God, what is a large? Because the large was 100 baht. Now these potentially were not here yesterday. I can't remember. I know that this is a secondary entrance and they will have, volunteers basically there. I have always wondered what OTOP stands for. One tambon, one product. And tambon is kind of like a, it's kind of like village sort of thing. One tambon, one product. I am so excited I know what that stands for now. Because I would see the OTOP, like, in Phuket, so I'm like, I wonder what that stands for. Here's the other thing that I love about where I am right now. It is Koh Samui, and obviously it's very foreign tourist oriented. Look at that whole thing in Thai. Huge fan. Huge fan. Love being in communities where that's the case. I don't know why I feel more comfortable in a place that has no English displayed, but I do. These are excellent, so I'm actually going to probably get some of those because, actually I am going to get some of those. Sorry, Kap. Is it hot? Ron? Ron, okay, Kap. One. And, oh, good, yeah. Oh, wow, they have like a, that's pretty cool. Like a meal there. Popcorn cup. Say hello YouTube. Hello YouTube. What is the name of your, okay, yeah. Satay Bangkok. Good. Okay, cool. Got my first part. My first meal. I believe it's like 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 10. 10 sticks of satay. How much does that cost in the United States? Like as an appetizer? It's not, I can tell you right now, it's not $1.75, that's for sure. These are crepes. Wow, that looks really good. I may have to come back here. Look at this. But again, it's only 2 o'clock, so I'm anticipating that by 4 o'clock, this will be, well, it'll be at the level of it being 4 o'clock every other day, too. So, you know the sugarcane juice? Do you guys get into that? And again, if you don't know, I'm not able to see the comments. I like the sugarcane juice kind of thing. That's not as looking at anything over there. What is this? That looks pretty good. And again, look at that. No English, baby. No English. This is the best stuff in the whole world. Salted egg. I'm not a fan of a salted egg. So as you can see, I eat well. So these guys have like things of corn. I wonder where they, oh, they got it right here. That's weird. So you just get like a container full of like warm corn kernels. Freshly steamed peanuts. That's cool. Alright, let me go over here. Now I did get, oh, this guy's got these like waffles. You've probably seen these before. He's got, I mean, they're waffles. And he has them stuffed with stuff. And usually I like the one that's got raisins in them. Honey Cop? Is raisin? Okay. What inside? Butter. Butter. Is this raisin? Is it that? Yeah. Okay, Cop. Good. Yeah. Thank you very much. Raisin. Pasta Thai. Waffle. I cannot read. But how you say it? What? Waffle. Yeah. Okay, Cop. Cool. Got it. Thanks. From Germany? No, America. Do I sound German? Yeah. I'm so big. Oh boy. Yeah. Right. Okay, Cop. Really? Only 20 baht? Wow, that's awesome. 20 baht, yeah. That's great. 67 cents. Amazing. Oh, I forgot my Diet Coke. I mean, my Coke Zero on my motorbike. So that was cool. You hear that guy? He's like, are you from Germany? I'm like, really? Why do you think I'm German? He goes, oh, you're so big. So I guess the Germans are big. I will say Gracie's sister's husband, so Gracie's brother-in-law, effectively, is name's Alex. He's large. And I think he's taller than I am. He's either like an inch taller than I am or the same height. Also bald, actually. And I tell you, when I first met him and I saw him, I'm like, I really should do this bald thing because he looked a lot better than I did. Although one could argue that if you guys have seen me before, you've also seen me with hair, and let's hope we all agree that I didn't look good with hair. Well, at least the hair that I had when I slicked it back and did it in a ponytail, that wasn't, there's no ROI to that, let's just say that. So, all right. Okay, cool. I have more food right now than I can consume. And so let's go over to the water. And I can kind of give you guys an idea of pretty much what I do every night at about 4 o'clock. I'm gonna probably get some of those rice cake things that have the drizzle on it. I'm gonna get those on the way back. But for right now, so 18 through 22, I'm assuming that says December, just because this wasn't here yesterday and today is the 20. Shoot, what's today? Oh, you know what I should do? Oh yeah, actually, I was gonna say I'll get my tripod, but I can clamp this on here. Yeah, I'll just sit right here. I prefer the flat. Actually, you know what I do? I prefer to just sit here. Yeah, I prefer to sit here, watch the ferry boats come in and out, and eat. I will kick the cigarette butt off of my table. I had water in the thing too. I should have eaten that. I rather brought that. Let me see. Am I still streaming? So yeah, this is pretty much this is my party every night. This is how I rip it down. How I go crazy. Is I basically sit like literally right here. I listen to that. Pretty much. That's pretty much what sounds like. I'm on that pier. Watch the ferry boats go on that pier. Watch the people walk up here. Actually, you see those kids up there? What's very common, it seems like, is the kids go up there with those things that make bubbles, you know, and they make bubbles. What are we talking about here? We're talking about, oh, okay. Oh, actually, it tells me my battery will last until 5 p.m. Really? It's 2:14. Wow. That's pretty ambitious. Oh, hold on, let me check out the weather. I like to check out this. So 85 and feels like 95. Mostly cloudy. Okay, cool. Hey, it does not look like it's gonna rain at all, even though there's a 60% chance of precipitation today. Well, it already rained this morning. Here's what my morning's looking like. Pretty isolated thunder showers. What about tonight? Yeah, it's gonna start raining tonight. This thing is actually pretty accurate, so it's gonna start raining tonight about 11 or so. Or at least there's a 30% chance of that. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain between now and the time I go home, so that's awesome. And how much battery do I have on my GoPro? 13%. All right. Well, you don't need to watch me eat. But what you can do, let me find a old piece of rusty rebar. There you go. Nature, guys, nature. I'll just clamp to this thing. And then, falling over, hold on. Watch what I'm watching. I'll pull up the thing so I can see the comments too. How's that? Get a look at the sky. I think the sky looks pretty good. All right. Bring up the live stream and then have some satay. How's that? I'm sure, like, I can't imagine anyone's watching. Oh, maybe you are. Oh, wow, 14. Hey, thanks, guys.
That's also probably a good idea to check my battery, too. So I got 42%.
Oh, I'm taking up a lot of the screen. Hold on. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry. Ah, there we go. Oh, I'm taking up a lot of the screen. Hold on. All right. Let me do this. Let me make sure I've got the... Oh, hold on, guys. You don't need me. Sorry. There we go. All right, cool. I'm off to the side. Awesome. I can pause this. And I'm actually now officially looking at the comments. So, hello. Planning on going to Koh Chang on my next visit. I've never done the east side of the Gulf. Prachap Curry on Mariano. I'm right there with you, buddy. Let me know when you come out here. I love that place. Enjoy your lunch. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Had I not been banking my Joe P money for my smoothies with Todd, I'd have used your smoothie money for my waffle. This waffle was 20 baht. Are you kidding me? It's friggin' amazing. It's got raisins in it, dude. All day long. All day long, guys. Eat dessert first. Eat your waffles first. Yeah, that's true. Acetate is getting cold. All right, fair enough. I'll start with that. You know what I can't do? It seems like it always blacks out. 16. Oh, cool. Thanks, Norman. Hold on, let's see if I can go. Straight to John Tien Rayong. Really, Aztec? That's cool, dude. What's your plan? When you plan on to get here? Coke Zero for the win. Yeah, I know. My satay. Oh, it's already got like sauce on it, but I like the stuff they give you. I specifically like the cucumber thing and the carrots. I'm psyched that they put it in layers and didn't mix it all together, because now I can throw away all the onions, because I do not like onions. But you're right, Rudy. It's probably quite cold right now, but it's Thai food, so pretty okay with it. Although, to be fair, I also don't mind cold pizza the following morning. I'll tell you what, these rubber bands, I just don't get it. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they like put things in a bag and then make sure that the entire bag is filled, like it's filled with air. Like, why do you do that? Why don't you just, whenever I have a bag and it's got like stuff in it, I always push the extra air out. Like, I don't understand. Anyway. Okay, so cool. So there's the oil. It's weird, they separate the oil from the vegetables. A lot of times it's pre-mixed, but that's cool that it's separate. I should throw away my onions right now. Yeah, my phone keeps like locking and going into black. Sorry about that. Let me go, let's see, live chat. Sawadee krap. Hello, Aztec. Nantawan bunwa bunma. Sawadee krap. Nantawat. Sabai di mana, Kak? Tini, Sabai di. Okay, Kak. Alright, cool. So now all of my, whoops, hold on. All of my onions are going to be gone in 3, 2, 1. Cool. So now all my onions are gone. Now I'm going to pour the oil in here and I should be golden. Which is basically like vinegar kind of thing. I like it. I like it. Cool. There's my salad. Happy. Sabai. I do need an engineer to help me with the bag. Joe, tell me if you were here, either you or the doorman. So the satay is this wide. I will argue this satay is about half the width of what I'm used to. I'm good, how are you? I am excellent. Thank you so much for asking. So good. So good. Yeah, sky is pretty awesome, right? That a little better? How's that, Aztec? Yeah.
love sitting on the ground, eating food made on the sidewalk. The best food in the entire world is made on the sidewalk in Thailand. Yeah, live music, you already over there. I walked past the stage on my way in, but I guess I didn't really show it. And the other night when I was here, not at this time, both nights I basically got here about before 4. I left before sunset, but usually the music I would hear was pre-recorded. But then they would have a girl come, and by girl I mean like someone who's like 8, who had the voice of Whitney Houston, and we'd be singing like, you know, Isan dance songs kind of thing, and amazing. She was doing that live, but in between like sort of her and her friends' performances, they had pre-recorded, so it's kind of cool that this guy's alive. Video. Streaming in Thailand. I'm gonna live my ass off like that. Oh, the other thing too. Best food in the world is made on the sidewalk in Thailand, given to you in a bag. And if they give you any utensils, go leave. That means you're in a restaurant. Stop. Go to the sidewalk. I think they're called samosas. Those triangular pastries with like, they have like, it's kind of like what they put in an egg roll, but they put it in a triangle and then deep fry it. Is it called samosas, guys? No. BKK.FM. I just don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, Joe. If I still wanted a real job, I know what I would do with it, but movie for the long weekend. And eat street off as opposed to food off the street. I forgot about the sauce. Took that peanut sauce. Forgot about that. Yep, peanut sauce, good stuff. Hope I got a copyright strike for this. I couldn't be happier. That's good, man. I don't know what the dressing is that they use. It's like vinegar with sugar in it or something. It's good. Of course, I'm eating it out of a bag using a skewer, which means I'm poking holes in the bag and the oil is getting all over my hands. My hand. Yep. One of the best meals I've had in a long time. Samosa, thank you, Rudy. Good, now you're hungry, huh? Yeah, I get it. Looks good, and now I want to go to the beach, right? I don't know if the ferries are running every hour, but it's certainly close to it. When my girl was with me in the States cooking cod dishes, almost all the dishes some sugar. Yeah, they're kind of into that, huh? Did she use sugar or MSG? Seems like it's more common to use MSG here. In fact, Dana's wife gave me some crap one time because I'm like, yeah, I always ask them, like, you know, don't put too much sugar in it. Because you know how they have that big thing of sugar, right, when they're making stuff on the street? And she's like, Mike, that's not sugar, that's MSG. I'm like, what? How can you buy that much volume of MSG? But no, she's like, no, it's not sugar. She goes, that'd be way too expensive. I'm like, oh, okay. Saute was excellent, guys. If you come here, go to that place. Well, you don't have to. I mean, I'd recommend it. No sugar in my sometimes. Okay, fair enough. They are crispy with green mango and sugar and chili. Oh yeah, that stuff's pretty good. Probably more of a cucumber relish. It's called ajad. Misty, Family Guy, when they banned it. Oh, dude, seriously? All right, I gotta find that. I love every that Family Guy makes. Some of the stuff is so inappropriate. It's awesome. I saw a TV show lately, or maybe it was a movie that I watched, and Seth MacFarlane was like, I think he was like a cop in it, maybe? Can't remember. Yeah, I think he was like a detective, or I don't think he was FBI. I don't remember what I was watching, but. Really? Chili sauce, chili sauce. Man, these waffles with those waffles huge. Did I mention there's raisins in it? Kind of a big fan. Oh, so now that I'm chatting with you guys, obviously we've been streaming however long, a couple hours maybe. I'm at 26% battery on my phone, and it only says H+ right now. Amazing. Like, how many times did it stop and buffer? When YouTube will chop the missed parts out. Huh. Ripe mangoes. Ripe sweet mangoes? I first started seeing those and tasting like real like mangoes. I thought the ones you get at the grocery store in San Diego. Maui.
I've had some of the best mango smoothies in Maui.